Well, police and fire crews have been using the life-saving drug Narcan for months now in a desperate effort to save people dying from a heroin overdose. But recently, they haven't needed to use as much of the drug. Christian Hauser shows us if that means a drop in the deadly drug epidemic.
We're off to a slower start for the number of heroin overdoses in the Miami Valley so far this year. But do these lower numbers mean the community is getting a handle on this deadly drug epidemic? Deanna Murphy grew up with parents who were addicts.
We all need to recognize that this is in our communities. This is not an urban problem. This is clearly a suburban problem, and it requires a response from everyone.
We had a record number of overdoses last year, but this year we're seeing a drop across the board in the number of ODs. The number of overdose patients at Good Samaritan Hospital is down more than 40% so far this year compared to last. Miami Valley Hospital is down more than 20% for the same period. Lieutenant Jack Mix has been with the Dayton Fire Department for nearly 30 years. He doesn't think heroin use is dropping. Mix thinks the drop might be because the life-saving drug Narcan is available for friends and families of addicts to have on hand in case of an overdose. So emergency crews may not be responding to all the overdoses like they were last year. Mix hopes at least some of those OD victims are getting help.
What does it take somebody to say I've had enough and change their life? I wish I knew that answer. I don't have it.
What we hope is happening is that those that are using Narcan are seeing that as a second chance and are seeking out recovery services.
But who's keeping track of those users?
There's no one keeping track of those that use Narcan and go to recovery, as far as we know, and that's really difficult to track because Narcan is more accessible now.
And some people argue Narcan just gives users a reason not to worry about overdosing.
You would never look at a diabetic as having their insulin as a free pass to use to go eat donuts.
And Lieutenant Mix isn't very optimistic when it comes to heroin use.
No, they're just going to perfect it. It's going to be around a long time.
Reporting in Montgomery County, Christian Hauser, Fox 45 News.
All right, so who is paying for all the Narcan being used by fire departments and the police? It all gets billed back to the patient.